A very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News Tonight with me, Wadulo Mark Arnold. It's going to be an hours-long bulletin, not like the usual 30 minutes. Then we have business roundup, but we're going to have an 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour bulletin, and then a 30-minute bulletin at 10 p.m. So do sit tight when I'll give you the news in detail. The President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has rallied the people of West Nile to tap into the emerging investments to transform their socio-economic well-being. While commissioning the Kole Nebi Arua substation, the President reiterated on the immense economic opportunities surrounding the connection of the West Nile to the national electricity transmission grid. More details in this report.
President Yoweri Museveni has commissioned the Kole Nebi Arua 132 kV transmission line, which connects the West Nile and northern Uganda to the national electricity transmission grid. President highlighted on reasons for the delayed electricity delivery.
Apart from the problem of generation, there was the problem of consumption in West Nile. There was power up to Kole on the other side, Kole in Lango, where then the line goes north to Gulu. That line was a 33 kV with a weaker current. The demand in West Nile was 2 megawatts or less. So the problem was the 33 kV cannot push power from Kole to West Nile. The distance is too long. That was the other problem also.
The President rallied the people of West Nile to embrace the factor of production towards socio-economic transformation. West Nilers are urged to be hospitable to investors in support of industrialization.
So that people don't have to come looking for land, begging, all that, wasting people's time. These people have got other places to go. If you don't handle them well, they go to other places. Uganda is not the only place on earth. So the leaders get some land where there is an industrial park. Then it may move quickly to consume the 90 megawatts.
Museveni reiterated on the contribution of electricity towards accelerating the productivity of other government development programs like Emyoga, Parish Development Model, among others.
We are working also on the nuclear power stations. 2 of them, one by Russia, another one by South Korea, will produce, I think, a total of 15,000.
Uganda Electricity Transmission Company is the government agency that is implementing the project, which has so far costed the government about $100 million.
It will also increase the bulk supply capacity and allow for the evacuation of the Karuma plant. There is a benefit of socio-economic transformation within the region and, of course, regional trade.
The commission project will enable the evacuation of electricity from the Karuma, Agago, Achoa, Nyagak 1 and Nyagak 3 power projects to meet the region's unserved demand.
The people, the youth who have been redundant are going to get jobs. Some already got jobs. He went ahead to say that there is new technology. This chairman, LOC1 of this place, realized that these projects come with technology transfer, job creation, and I thought I should recognize him.
The people of West Nile commend government for the development saving the community from the erratic and unreliable power supply. The development, among others, is expected to create more job opportunities to young people in the region.
Seeing the pathetic unemployment in West Nile, the youth unemployment, because this is stable and industrial reliable electricity, which is likely to give opportunity to have processing plants, to have factories, and those factories can accommodate manual laborers, semi-skilled laborers, and skilled laborers. This is why I think it is a fundamental change.
The project is financed by the World Bank through the International Development Association, and its objective is to improve the availability and efficiency of bulk electricity supply in the project area. It covers about 289 kilometers with the main objective of reinforcing power supply to the West Nile region as well as connecting the West Nile to the national grid. Dennis Igor and Abdul Nasir Uwama for UBC News in the West Nile region.
Furthermore, the transitional president of the Gabonese Republic, His Excellency Bright Clotaire Oligui Nguema, has described his visit to Uganda as a fruitful one after his interaction with his host, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. The two dignitaries discussed a wide range of issues. Now, the visiting president toured Fine Spinners Uganda Limited factory in Bugolobi and Luwero Industries in Nakasongola.
At Fine Spinners, His Excellency Nguema and the First Lady were received at the facility by the chairman of the textile company, Jaswinda Bedi. They were given a guided tour of the production line that highlights the process of manufacturing, right from spinning, weaving and knitting, culminating into the manufacturing of the final products such as t-shirts, all types of dresses for both children and women, menswear, as well as uniforms for various entities, among others.
We're happy to make
President Nguema expressed his appreciation and gratitude on witnessing the success story waged by his Ugandan counterpart, Yoweri Museveni, of championing value addition to raw materials. He expressed his wish to collaborate with the government of Uganda to promote value addition program for the benefit of the people of the two sister nations.
We wish to tap into the potentiality
et des atouts que l'Ouganda nous présente en ce moment.
And all the potentialities that Uganda is presenting us now.
According to the CEO of the facility, Sav Bedi, the Bugolobi factory employs over 1,500 Ugandans, who many receive their training on the job. Most of the products are exported to European, Asian, and African countries. President Nguema and his delegation also visited Luwero Industries complex. They were hosted by the Managing Director of the National Enterprise Corporation, Lieutenant General James Mujira, and the General Manager of Luwero Industries, Major General Sabit Muzei. The guests toured ProHeli International Services Limited, whose operations are repair, maintenance, overhaul and upgrade of helicopters. President Nguema was later taken to Armored Vehicle Manufacturing Plant, where they viewed armored vehicles and boats. Speaking shortly after the tour, President Nguema emphasized his call for the deepening of close cooperation and collaboration between the two countries in the areas of health, agriculture, military, and many other fields.
Commercial entre nos deux États.
We touched on the deepening and strengthening of trade relations between our two states,
notamment dans le domaine de la santé,
especially in
le domaine
health,
militaire,
in the military,
le domaine de l'agriculture,
in agriculture,
et bien d'autres domaines.
and many other fields.
The Managing Director of the National Enterprise Corporation, Lieutenant General James Mujira, told the guests that the corporation is a commercial and business arm of the Ministry of Defense. He said the aim was to foster self-reliance and build the local capacity of exploiting the natural resources for the strategic security of the black race.
Your Excellency, Africa is a rich continent.
Votre Excellence, l'Afrique est un continent riche.
Gabon is a very rich country.
Le Gabon est un pays très riche.
Uganda is a very rich country.
L'Ouganda est un pays riche, très riche.
All the raw materials used in the manufacture of defense equipment are available in Africa.
Tous les matériaux, toutes les matières premières qui sont utilisées dans l'industrie de la défense sont présentes sur le continent africain.
There is nothing that would stop us from adding value to those raw materials.
Il n'y a rien qui nous empêche d'ajouter de la valeur à ces matières premières.
And to locally manufacture the equipment that we need for our national defense and security.
After the tour, President Nguema and his delegation left for Gabon. At Entebbe International Airport, the president was seen off by the Vice President of Uganda, Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, among other dignitaries. Justin Nakami, UBC News.
Yes, that's what it means to host a delegate of that capacity. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has also called upon the people of Nebi to embrace government development programs intended to improve household incomes. The president was officiating the thanksgiving of the State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamutoro, for her appointment as a minister. Mr. Museveni commends the mobilization skills of Nyamutoro towards the implementation of the NRM transformation agenda, as these details entail.
State Minister for Minerals Fiona Nyamutoro hosted President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at Nebi Town Secondary School playground in Nebi Town for a special thanksgiving upon her appointment as the Minister for Minerals.
That's how we have been building the NRM for the last 60 years. We always identify talent, commitment, and devotion. That's how we have been building, if you look at generation after generation.
President Museveni commended Minister Nyamutoro for mobilizing people of Nebi towards the NRM development and transformation programs. Museveni urged the youth to focus on wealth creation-initiated programs than propagating divisive politics.
They will now be forced to answer. We hear there is PDM money. How many people in our parish have got PDM? Then how about Nyoga? You don't have to fight or to quarrel, but you demand. You kubanja. Omake banje. You use the power you have, LOC system, to demand what belongs to you.
President Museveni says the strategy of appointing young people into cabinet intends to build capacity in the dynamic political environment.
Simply say, what I want is a committed NRM cadre. Although I could see Nyamutoro was a good cadre, but I could not impose her on the NRM structures. I had to wait for the NRM structures to say, oh, this is the one. Then I support her against the opposition. You the leader, you should not take sides among your children.
State Minister for Minerals Fiona Nyamutoro applauded the President for the appointment and commits her full commitment towards NRM mobilization strategy, particularly those intending to change lives of young people.
We shall always continue to support you all the way and always count on our undivided loyalty and support towards a better Uganda that we live and want to see every day. Now that both production and supply are guaranteed, we look forward to fast-tracking the construction of the Goli-Vura Road to ease market accessibility, and then the cycle to fully drive development in the region will be complete.
Nyamutoro commends government for development programs intended to transform people's lives in Nebi and commits to demand for other outstanding programs.
Achieve this vision by starting a fight against a negative mindset of politics of identity. We intend to promote unity of purpose and issue-based leadership that directly speaks to changing lives. Mzee, this mission is basically anchored on improving three aspects: education, health, and entrepreneurship.
Local government officials highlighted some outstanding government projects and appealed to the president for expeditious intervention.
This celebration in 2012, our people requested you, especially Catholic sisters requested you for a solar system for a school called Providence, which is a skilling center. To date, you have not received. And also at the same time, during the coronation of our Obimo, that is the King of Alur, in 2010, where you came, you promised us that you will construct for our king a palace. Up to date, it's not constructed.
NRM Secretary General Richard Todwong expressed optimism over the growing NRM support in the region, which is attributed to the party's effective manifesto implementation.
We are aware of the promise we made of the road that connects Pakwach, Wadelai, Obongi, Moyo. We know in your hands all these roads will be covered. Now that we have covered electricity, we are concentrating in household income, we know all these investments will be brought to West Nile.
President Museveni urged the youth to utilize the decentralized system of governance to demand services from local government administrators.
We recognize the
Yes, now prior to his departure, the Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation, General Caleb Akandenwaho, alias General Salim Saleh, hosted the transitional president of Gabon, His Excellency Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, in Gulu City. During the meeting, the two leaders underscored the commitment of Uganda and Gabon to fostering socio-economic development and collaboration, setting the stage for a prosperous future built on mutual cooperation and shared goals. President Nguema was accompanied by the First Lady, Zita Oligui Nguema, and other dignitaries, as this report entails.
The transitional president of Gabon, His Excellency Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, has visited the northern region of the country and held discussions with Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation, General Caleb Akandenwaho. His Excellency Nguema emphasized Gabon's interest in Uganda's wealth creation initiatives and the importance of regional, continental and international collaboration. The Gabonese president also informed General Saleh that he discussed with President Museveni the need to enhance bilateral cooperation, where they agreed on several initiatives aimed at strengthening ties between the two countries.
Au service des populations.
Point number 8 is putting military efficiency at the service of the people.
Pour que l'armée rentre dans l'accroissement des richesses.
So that the army participate in wealth generation.
From a long time ago, from the architects of the revolution ensured that the army.
Depuis l'époque des architectes de la révolution, nous avons veillé à ce que l'armée
become part of the parliament
puisse rejoindre, faire partie du parlement.
On his part, General Salim Saleh assured President Nguema of Uganda's commitment to effective bilateral cooperation, highlighting the successes of the Operation Wealth Creation in helping Ugandans join the money economy. The Vice Prime Minister of Gabon, Alexandre Barrow, who was also in attendance, reiterated the country's commitment to economic diversification and the need for cooperation with Uganda. He highlighted Gabon's rich natural resources and the potential for strategic partnerships in agriculture, mining and industrialization.
Fighting had stopped.
Parce que après la fin des hostilités,
so we were sent into the villages to mobilize the population.
On nous a envoyés dans les villages pour aller mobiliser les populations.
So that we can bring everybody into the money economy.
The meeting was also attended by Uganda's Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, Jacob Oboth, Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakoba, National Resistance Movement Secretary General, Richard Todwong, Gabonese Minister for Agriculture, Jonathan Ignoumba, and Regis Ndiaye, Gabonese Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Alupo, has called for unity amongst Africans that share the Nile in order to achieve shared development. This was during the 32nd Nile Basin Initiative Council of Ministers meeting in Kampala, where she called upon Egypt to resume its participation in the Nile Basin activities.
The Vice President of the Republic of Uganda.
While officiating the 32nd Annual Nile Council of Ministers meeting that accommodated ministers from the riparian states, Vice President of Uganda, retired Major General Jessica Alupo, called upon Nile Basin states to be drawn more to factors that unite them than those dividing them.
Riverbanks are becoming increasingly under pressure from expanding economic activities and lack of effective cross-border mechanisms for protection, restoration, and sustainable utilization of these ecosystems. The challenges the Nile Basin is facing require collective action by all the Nile Basin states, since many of these challenges cut across country boundaries. I wish to call upon Egypt, that froze its participation in the Nile Basin Initiative activities, to resume its participation in order to provide an opportunity to discuss her concerns and find ways of effectively resolving any pending issues.
I believe that these engagements will result in more support to the Nile Basin Initiative, and we plan to continue these engagements at the country, regional, and the international levels through various avenues.
Equitable utilization of the Nile water resources by the riparian states was pointed out as a vital move towards economic development.
Kenya, having almost half of its water resources within the Lake Victoria Basin, considers Nile Basin as a region of strategic importance in terms of meeting its water demands and improving livelihoods through regional integration.
Strategy in South Sudan is now geared toward water, energy, and food security, water resources development and management with robust climate-resilient water infrastructures.
The ministers' meeting resolved that Uganda, who is the current chair, is to continue chairing till June 2025.
The majority of the meetings changed, so we want to bring them back to the regular schedule. So Uganda now will be chairing for about 1 year and a half, but ideally the country should be chairing for 1 year. I received the work plan and the budget, about $10 million for the Nile Basin Initiative for the next 1 year, and this money is going to do a number of things.
The Heads of State Summit is to happen in Uganda if approved by the President of the Republic of Uganda, Marion Awori, for UBC.
And furthermore, Minister for Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, has announced that the country has applied for monkeypox vaccine from the World Health Organization and the United States government that will be given to the most at-risk population along the Democratic Republic of Congo borders. While addressing the media, Dr. Acheng announced the country registered 2 imported cases of monkeypox in Kasese district from the Democratic Republic of Congo on Friday, 2nd August 2024.
The Ministry of Health has applied to acquire monkeypox vaccine from the World Health Organization and the American government that will be given to the most at-risk population along DR Congo border. This after the country registered 2 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Kasese district imported from DRC.
And this was confirmed after samples were taken from 2 individuals. These individuals are from Mpondwe, Lubiriha Town Council. One is married to a Congolese, and the second is actually a Congolese female from Bunyiswa village, Bwera sub-county in Kasese district. Both of them presented with skin rash, swollen lymph nodes, or swellings, on their bodies, and weakness. And these signs were consistent with monkeypox. That's why we took off samples that were tested at Uganda Virus Research Institute, and we received a report that these turned out to be positive for monkeypox. Those cases were detected among 6 suspected cases at Bwera in Kasese.
Minister for Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, noted that they have deployed a rapid response team to Kasese district to control monkeypox, as 9 contacts are being monitored.
So monkeypox spreads from person to person through physical contact with someone who is infectious, or through contaminated materials, or through infected animals, majorly the monkeys. And the signs and the symptoms include the skin rash that I talked about, which can last for up to 4 weeks, fever, general weakness, sore throat, headache, muscle pain, back pain, and swollen lymph nodes.
Health officials are calling upon the general public to remain vigilant and calm and report any suspected cases to the nearest health facility.
And want to alert the general public that we have already applied for vaccines from WHO and also the US government. And as soon as we have access, we shall give vaccines to the most at-risk population, especially those along the borders with DRC and immunosuppressed people, and also children, because the disease is more severe among the children.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Now, still the Minister for Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, has noted with concern that despite the significance of medical interns, all the eligible interns could not be wholly absorbed into the intake, as it requires an additional 18.8 billion shillings, excluding the cost of recruiting additional specialists to supervise the interns. Acheng made these remarks at a press briefing to update the public on the issue of medical interns dispatch. The minister also highlighted the need to prioritize internship training and also allocate adequate funding based on the numbers enrolled into the universities, and communicated to the councils following completion of training. The health minister also highlighted the urgent need for the Ministry of Education and Sports to expedite the process of completing the Education for Health training policy.
With the available budget allocated this year, Uganda shillings 35,661,600,000 less Uganda shillings 11,590,800,000 for senior house officers, less 670,800,000 for the 86 continuing interns who joined late. Only Uganda shillings 23,400,000,000 is available for deployment of the current interns. Considering the expenditure of Uganda shillings 15,600,000 per intern per annum, this money can only deploy 1,500 interns. Against this background, the ministry can only deploy the cohort of 2023 and the previous years, totaling 1,435 medical interns. For the remaining 65 positions available, priority will be given to dental surgeons, who are 22 in number, and the remaining 43 positions will go to government-sponsored pharmacists, who are in short supply in the market from the cohort of 2024.
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance has launched a digital application dubbed Rewards for Education. The digital app, which was developed by Sustainable Impact Alliance Solutions, a non-governmental organization, aims to ensure that learners stay in school and successfully complete their studies through rewards. The launch of the Rewards for Education app was presided over by Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance here in Kampala.
The brains behind this digital app, dubbed Rewards for Education, are optimistic their product will go a long way in reducing school dropouts in Uganda through the rewards given to learners who consistently attend school.
We are tackling efficiency issues, we are tackling fraud issues, we are tackling corruption issues, we are tackling enrollment and also school dropout. All those will be effectively tackled with this initiative.
Through CS Uganda and Coins for College, and we came to an agreement and figured out a way to solve that problem, is basically what we did.
Godfrey Kabyanga, the State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, has acknowledged the need to tackle the high rate of school dropouts in the country.
Now, in this country, we are having a lot of school dropouts and absenteeism. What is killing our education system right now is absenteeism and school dropout. Children come to school the month of exams. They come to school the month of exams, just to come and do exams, and because the UPE system, everybody gets promoted.
The Rewards for Education also features a one-stop center for storing academic documents or any other important documents without necessarily holding hard copies.
But through digitizing academic documents in our CS Rewards for Education program, we have put up a strategy to digitize your documents in one stop at one point.
That we need one-stop center where you can go and you get your documents at a click, not necessarily going to the university where you completed from. I think that is very, very important.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, while officially launching the app, pledged government's support towards this initiative.
Technology is there to make things better and more efficient in whatever we do. So I am happy that we'll be discussing issues of education, and part of the issues we are discussing is how to digitalize and digitize the education processes.
The Rewards for Education program will come in form of scholarships, scholastic materials, vacations, and other incentives to help a child complete education. The rollout of this digital program in the country will be facilitated by government and various development partners. Diano Olwen-Peters, UBC News in Kampala.
And furthermore, State Minister for Health in charge of general duties, Honorable Anifa Kawoya, has urged Ugandans to do routine hepatitis B checkups and testing for proper treatment. Kawoya made these remarks at the launch of the 2023-28 National Viral Hepatitis Prevention and Control Strategic Plan held at Boma Grounds in Kumi District.
Viral hepatitis B remains a threat to human life, and a deadly liver infection caused by the hepatitis B virus is one of the most common infectious diseases globally and can lead to both acute and chronic liver conditions. Excessive alcohol consumption is the main catalyst of the problem. Just like HIV/AIDS, hepatitis can be transmitted from mother to child at the delivery stage, sharing sharp objects with an infected person, blood transfusion via unscreened blood, and through unprotected sexual intercourse. According to statistics, over 3 million people worldwide die of hepatitis every day, shockingly implying that every second a life is lost. A survey conducted in 2022 revealed that out of the 65 million Africans living with hepatitis B, 2 million are Ugandans. This implies that 4% of our population is infected. In response to this threat, the National Viral Hepatitis Prevention and Control Strategic Plan 2023-2028 has been launched in commemoration of the World Hepatitis Day held at Boma Grounds in Ikumi District.
2024, we commit to take action for God and my country. I now declare that we are going back to implement the action that we have all ourselves committed to.
Minister of State for Health in charge of general duties, Honorable Anifa Kaoya, advised the people to always screen and test for different illnesses.
As we think through, because this hepatitis B started in one patient, now you have seen how it is killing 3 million per day globally. You have seen how 2 million in Uganda are the victims. It is time, and time now, that we take action, and the action must be taken. It is time for my ministry and for government to find the missing millions, because investing in hepatitis is a smart decision together with our partners to broader health outcomes. Budget increase for the health, there is a World Organization requirement of 10%.
Professor Ponciano Ochama, a specialist in viral liver infections including HIV and hepatitis B, urged the people to carry out routine checkups.
If you don't know your status, this virus is very funny. It sits there quiet and looks at you. Now, when you now get liver cirrhosis, the liver has gotten scarce. You begin to develop. So please go and test and know your status.
Leaders in Kumi district decry the growing trend of cargo and trucker drivers who invade the area regularly and engage younger girls into dubious sexual acts.
For me, the main cause of the spread of this hepatitis B and the HIV, it's these truck drivers. There is nothing good we are getting out of them. But at the same time also we have tried to move them, but of course they have persisted. They have refused. We don't have enough manpower in enforcement. But if they would help us in terms of constructing a parking yard for these trailers so that we manage those guys in that kind of angle, it will sound good. Maybe the end of the world has come as it's written in the Bible, so who knows?
Amaivan Juko and Christopher Buyondo for UBC.
Pupils of Kachonga Primary School in Bukedia District have a reason to smile after receiving a 2-classroom block and a 5-stance drainable pit latrine from the Ministry of TESO Affairs. This support came after viral social media pictures showed pupils sitting on an anthill in the classroom while the teacher was conducting lessons.
When Grace Sakurut arrived as the head teacher of Kachonga Primary School 2 years ago, she was received by dilapidated classrooms, some of which even had an anthill inside.
At the first landing here, I went through the classes, then I found children seated on that anthill. And I told them, even you are studying with this anthill? Then they said, yes.
After consulting the school management committee about the renovation of the school, plans to remove the anthill were halted due to fears that the classroom might collapse.
The management said, if I remove and it collapses, I should put it back in 2 days. I don't have that money.
Later on, things started becoming tough for the head teacher when a picture of an anthill inside the classroom went viral on social media.
I was tasked by the district to remove the anthill, and I said, I cannot remove the anthill. One, I have not accessed any funds to help me. Neither can I dig it myself. And I cannot give even the children. So they wanted to demote me.
But little did she know that the picture would change the image of the school after it attracted the attention of the Minister of TESO Affairs, which constructed a 2-classroom block and a 5-stanza drainable pit latrine.
OPM sent a team and were able to reach up to Kachonga Primary School. So when we came here, they really confirmed that the school needed intervention. So shortly we got a feedback from Office of the Prime Minister allocating construction of a 2-classroom block, 5-stance pit latrine for girls and incinerator, and also furniture for the school.
Minister of State for Test Affairs Dr. Kenneth Ongalo Obote expressed that the person who posted the picture of the classroom that went viral on social media had intentions of spoiling government's image.
That is why they selectively picked that classroom, left this. They then went and picked the other toilet and left all the other. There is something they were trying to communicate. But you see, God has embarrassed them. Because out of their bad intentions has come all these good things that we are seeing now. So sometimes bad intentions, malice. Don't have malice against people. It will only help them. It will not help you. And I am sure that if that person expected an outcome that was negative, let us together now embarrass that person even more.
Ongalo said this while monitoring government projects in the region, including the progress of the new classroom block constructed by his ministry at Kachonga Primary School in Bukedia District. Joseph Okow, UBC.
A retiring Anglican priest has cited politics as one of the most challenging issues to deal with in the church leadership. The Lira clergy says politics causes development, but sometimes ends up in a sharp division among Christians. He also urges pastors to be neutral with politicians, as these details share with us.
Reverend Canon Jackie Milton Otawalima has shared numerous challenges in the spiritual journey after serving the Anglican Church for 45 years. The constitution of the Anglican Church requires one to retire as soon as you clock 65.
Yeah, in the spiritual journey is a challenge. Number one is lack of resources to sustain families. Walking through politics is not easy, and more so in Laos. So they would want to know who this priest is where. You know, is he on our side or is he on the other side? That's a very big one.
His service, especially in the office of the Diocesan Mission Coordinator, is one humbling achievement that gives him great joy.
We would bring 60,000 people together every year, running all over the place. I'm in schools, and I had many songs composed in my name.
In 2014, his vocation suffered a huge setback during the election of the first bishop of West Lango Diocese, in which he was a candidate. He feels he became a victim of political acrimony.
He almost put the church at disarray. But I only humbled myself under the cross, and I said, no, let God's will be done. That must teach young people that not everybody will like you, and just look at the cross. And that made me to have a good finish. If I had not done that, I would have been crushed.
During the 2 decades of the Lord's Resistance Army LRA insurgency in northern Uganda, hundreds of people were displaced from their homes. The church had to give them hope in order to heal from the trauma.
Wherever you get to a camp, they will ask you, is there food? So we brought Christ. He said, here we don't speak much about Christ, we speak much about food, but we preached. We gave them pastoral care, and the province also bought some food.
Besides several achievements, politics has been one of the hurdles to overcome.
And I did some little politics a bit. No, there's no spiritual connection. It is just social connection, and with an idea of forging for development. My mind it was like, when you support government, you can get government resources. When you support opposition, you keep shouting and you keep eating what you shout for.
Reverend Canon Jackie Milton Otawalima, who will retire officially on the 25th of August, was ordained priest in 1982.
Because even some people call me Museveni, and I look like him. They call me anything in Lao, just because my mother comes from Barara, and she passed on. The only bad thing she did is that she didn't teach us the language. And that's why I missed all my cows.
He later served the church in different capacities. His footprints can also be traced at the Federation of the Uganda Football Association FOFA, where he served as a vice president. He now wants to focus his time on guiding the youth to be exemplary citizens. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You
can now get all the chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with Baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their targets and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, Baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love Baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now take you into the world of business. Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board, UBTEB, has confirmed that a total of 58,995 candidates have been lined up to sit for the July-August 2024 examination series. The exams, which began on 2nd July, will end on 30th August 2024, registering an increase of female candidates. Talking to journalists at the UBTEB offices in Ntinda, UBTEB Executive Secretary Onesmus Oyesije warned candidates against examinations malpractice, as this will cost them dearly. More details in this report.
UBTEB Executive Secretary Onesmus Oyesije revealed that a total of 58,995 candidates are sitting for the technical and business examinations, leading to the award of certificates and diplomas. Onesmus says that UBTEB has made all necessary preparations of briefing reconnectors and delivery of all necessary examination materials to the 454 examination centers.
That the conduct of the July-August 2024 examination series across the country began yesterday on 2nd August 2024 and will end on 30th August 2024, and it is being conducted at 454 examination centers across the country.
UBTEB has carried out pre-inspection of selected examination centers to ascertain readiness and suitability to observe the rules and regulations followed in conducting the TVET exams, and will not hesitate to arrest any culprit of examination malpractices.
In a bid to minimize the recurrence of examination malpractice, the board encourages all centers to ensure that the examination task forces at institutions level are well briefed in the conduct of examinations. This task force is responsible for ensuring that examinations are done in compliance with UBTEB rules and standards.
This year, UBTEB has registered increasing inclusions of persons with disabilities, with 76 candidates spread in different examination centers, where 26 candidates have visual impairment, 21 have physical disability, 16 with hearing disabilities, among others.
But we shall ensure that these are coded special examination arrangements, such as sign language interpreters, transcribers, and guides. While the rest will be accorded extra time, or with papers with the large fonts. The board has accordingly deployed over 100 support personnel to assist candidates who are in this category.
UBTEB is now strengthening modular assessments as a way to answer the presidential call for skilling Ugandan youths for job creation.
Part of the exams are done through continuous assessment by institutions. Now there is that snapshot where people write to see the knowledge. But on top of that, we have also practical assessments.
UBTEB appeals to all heads of centers to adhere to the UBTEB rules and regulations on conduct of exams. Henry Muganga compiled this report for UBC News.
And furthermore, cattle farmers have been advised to make research before starting dairy business. Dr. Jackson Mobiru from the National Animal Genetic Resources Center and Data Bank, NAGRAC and D, says breed of cattle must also be prioritized for good benefits. This was during a 2-day training of cattle farmers under the umbrella Cattle Generation Dairy Farmers held at Site Farm in Namulonge, Wakiso District.
Cattle farmers under their umbrella Cattle Generation Dairy Farmers have visited Site Farm Namulonge in Wakiso District to empower them with more knowledge in cattle rearing. During the training, Dr. Jackson Mobiru from the National Animal Genetic Resource Center and Data Bank advised farmers to consider the kind of breed for improved milk harvests.
So in breeding work, we evaluate, we register, and we certify for purposes of saying this material has been well bred, well looked after, and it has this potential. So that whoever takes it, when it is evaluated, it's registered and is certified, the difference in performance will be because of the environment where you take it.
Chief Executive Office of Site Farm, Site Lugolobi, appealed to government to exempt them from property tax on animal houses.
8 million is to pay property taxes for the redundant poultry houses which are in Nansana municipality. Cow barn is a semi-permanent structure. You cannot tax a semi-permanent what? Structure.
The head of communication at the NRM Secretariat, also a farm in Butaleja district, Emmanuel Dombo, emphasized the need for more training to encourage people to practice dairy farming and to benchmark with local farmers.
Recently, I visited Kenya, and some farmer wondered why they buy all their feed requirements from Uganda, and the Ugandans themselves are not using them. At times we import some milk from Kenya because our milk intake is still very low. So as a country, we need to train our farmers how to produce. We need to train our people to love and consume more milk and create an internal market. But also, we must teach our children to like farming as an enterprise.
Some of the farmers highlighted on the benefits of cattle rearing in groups.
Also got something to do with how can we organize ourselves as farmers into cooperatives or into associations, and we are able to create a market, which market can be viable and sustainable for our farmers for the dairy products.
When you're looking at production and the high, you can't look at production and you look at low production. Basically, we are looking at high production because this is a cash cow.
The 2-day farmers training is aimed at sensitizing farmers about value addition on cattle and their products, and is being attended by farmers from different districts of the country. Andrew Sebira compiled this report for UBC News.
And on the international scene, Venezuela went to the polls to usher in a new president last Sunday. The results that were released showed that incumbent Nicolas Maduro had won the election. However, opposition has come out to refute the results.
The 8th presidential elections were held in Venezuela, in which the incumbent president Nicolas Maduro obtained 51.2% of the votes and was proclaimed as president elected by the Venezuelan National Electoral Council. These were the 31st elections held in Venezuela in 25 years of the Bolivarian Revolution. Speaking to the Venezuelan ambassador to Uganda, Fatima Fernandez Juarez, she explained that the process was observed and audited. She also explained that the results were recognized by 8 opposition candidates who were running for president, but the candidate representing the extreme right-wing sector of the opposition refused to recognize them, calling his followers to protest, resulting in violent riots and damage to public property such as hospitals, public transport and pharmacies, among others. President Nicolas Maduro has denounced that the violent protests are part of an attempted coup d'etat against Venezuelan institutionality by ignoring the electoral arbiter, the only legal authority in the matter, which, according to the ambassador, has been a pattern in the actions of this sector of the Venezuelan opposition.
The elections were accompanied by more than 900 international observers, besides our national observers from each political party. Each political party participated in each one of the audits. The system has 16 audits before, during and after the elections. The state, the institutions of the state have found mechanism to stop these attempts of what the president himself called as an attempt of coup d'etat by some extreme right sectors of the population, of the opposition.
President Nicolas Maduro has filed an appeal for protection before the Venezuelan Supreme Court of Justice in response to the violent events and attempted coup that the national and international extreme right are plotting to come to power illegally. He urged the Supreme Court to resolve the attack against the Venezuelan electoral system and summon all the candidates after the opposition challenged the results of presidential elections. He also supported the actions of the state security agencies to restore public order. As a result of these measures, the streets of Venezuela have returned to normality. Maureen Babidie reporting for UBC News.
And now in the world of sports, a few hours after claiming a historic 10,000 meters gold medal at the Olympics, Joshua Cheptegei made a grand return to the Games village and was received by the general manager, David Katende.
At around 2 a.m. in the night, Uganda's Olympic Games 10,000 meter champion Joshua Cheptegei returned to the Games village. He was received by the general team manager David Katende in the company of a few others that braved the night cold to be the first to see the man who had earlier left the place with just a dream.
Oh, team Uganda.
We're now starting to get our medal collection now.
Yes. I told
Let's pray for the rest of the guys.
Yeah,
you go well.
Harvest men more.
You go well.
Uganda is always for God.
Yeah.
The captain has led the way.
Hello. You know when the captain is in charge of the army, things will, of course, have to come.
Yes.
Hey.
For those in the Ugandan camp, this return was historical in more ways than one, because none of us had heard from Joshua since he arrived at the Games. Before his race, the usually elusive 27-year-old was even hard to see, but now is in great mood.
Yeah, good morning everyone. This is the champion, Joshua Cheptegei, fresh from yesterday's 10K title. I want to thank every Ugandan who has been there watching and supporting us from home. This is for you guys. So let's gather together at 8 p.m. East African time for the medal ceremony.
Joshua will go again this week in what should ink him in both loyalty and royalty among sports circles if he negotiates his way in the 5,000 meters that start with hits this Wednesday.
Yes, of course, now Joshua Cheptegei is the 2024 Olympic champion. His victory was well received by many across the globe. Now, in Uganda, Kapchorwa in particular, chants and celebrations were all over, as our reporter shares with us.
Whenever an international race happens involving children of the land, Kapchorwa warms up for medals. Joshua Cheptegei crossed the line victorious in the 10,000-meter race at the ongoing Olympic Games in Paris at around 11 p.m. local time, and indeed shouts and ululations were all over.
He'll never run the track again after this. And tried to burn everybody up. The fastest 10,000 in the history.
Early Saturday morning, UBC TV moved around Kapchorwa town, and it was buoyant mood both on streets and villages. Just like any other Ugandan, they are proud of their child and happy that he's born and raised in Kapchorwa.
Learners, we are really joyous since it is our opportune moment, and we thank the Almighty God for this victory. It has not been so easy for him.
Through hard work, Cheptegei built a community school that has improved the education sector of the area. Our visit to Cheptegei's school, everyone couldn't hide their joy.
As the director's won, I'm so happy. My heart has even put on dancing shoes. The director, we pray that may he continue living long and God adds him more strength that he wins always.
The director has won a gold medal, and that happened yesterday night. I'm so glad and so happy. I'm very happy because the director has won. He won yesterday at night. I'm so glad. And our prayers made him to win. I will just tell the public to continue praying for him.
His father clearly states that Cheptegei has been working tirelessly to win the 10,000 medal at the Olympics, and indeed it has come true.
Government should do, of course, reward these medalists, especially even me, myself. I was given a pledge since 2019, and to date I have not received the pledge. So government should continue rewarding these medalists, and also bringing up the young ones.
The local community, on the other hand, are now working on the road heading to his training facility as a way of appreciating him. Unlike other athletes, Cheptegei lives and trains in Kapchorwa, where he equally owns a training facility, and the results are visible.
Congratulations, Cheptegei, the man of the land. 7 gold medals. How far can you go? We do not know, but we do pray for you. Otherwise, thank you for joining us for the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold. Do join us later on at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. See you then.